Happy to be with Bob Feller this inning here in the booth. And for fans who don't know, Bob is 91 years old, and I get tired just listening to the schedule that you keep. And where were you early this morning?
Well, we were in Mobile, Alabama. I caught this 6:30 plane and the Houston back up here and wanted to be here for this ball game. And I was on the Battleship Alabama last night for dinner with Lou Michael, and the night before we were at the ballpark in Mobile, the Bears ballpark, dedicating the museum of Hank Aaron's museum. His house is now at the ballpark, and it is the museum, and we had a great time there with the commissioner. But the Alabama is in good condition, and I'm glad to be back in town and going to get back to see Felix. And
back in Gates Mills.
I got to get home and see Ann. I haven't seen Ann for several days.
Speaking of Bob's opening day no-hitter in Chicago, of course, he's the Indians' all-time leader in victories, strikeouts, and 12 one-hitters.
Yeah, that's the amazing thing. 12 one-hitters right there. That's, I mean, yeah, as you say, Bob, they're lucky. I mean, no-hitters are lucky.
Oh, well, you never think about a no-hitter until you get into a no-hitter, until you get into 2 men out in the 8th inning. But some of my one-hitters are probably just as well pitched. My best no-hit game was one in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, right.
I had much better stuff in 1946 in Yankee Stadium when we won the game 1-0 on my catcher Frankie Hayes' home run. But the one in Chicago was won by a triple by my catcher Raleigh Hemsley, drove in my roommate Jeff Heath.
Now, in all your 3 no-hitters, were there great plays made or very good plays made in every game? Or, I mean, which one did you have? Any you just breezed right through?
The last play of the ball game, and tapped right, hit a hard ground ball between Trotsky and Ray Mack. Ray Mack made a dive for it, knocked it down, picked it up barehanded, and threw it to Trotsky at first. It was pretty much of a bang play at first base. It was pretty close. Wright was a very good hitter. The other two no-hitters, there were no end sensational plays. I just lucked in, and they were hitting the ball right at the fielders.
Well, there's a bullet by Cabrera into center field. Marson stops at second, and the Indians have back-to-back hits off Burley here in the 3rd with 1 out.
I mean, because normally when you get out there and you see a no-hitter, I've been involved in 3 no-hitters in my career. As you're going to watch Cabrera go right back. That's a good approach off the left-hander. Don't try and pull him. He was the big part of the field, and he was able to drill it by Burley.
Well, didn't you make the last out in the perfect game?
Yeah, I caught
Len Barker's perfect game. You made the final out, and I heard that ball game in Toronto. It was a Toronto ball club, and the Toronto announcers were very complimentary to Lenny Barker when he pitched that game.
Oh, he was, yeah. He had a perfect game. Is that's amazing in itself. And Mark Burley, the pitcher out there, he has a perfect game. As a matter of fact, it came last year, and there's been like 8 perfect games since Lenny Barker's back in '81.
Slow chopper to second. They'll take the sure out at first to get Sizemore. 2 down. Marson to 3rd. Cabrera to 2nd. And that's going to bring up yesterday's hero, Shin-Soo Choo, who hit the 3-run homer to propel the Indians to the 3-2 win over the Texas Rangers. Bob, you're here at Progressive Field almost nightly. I know you have commitments and you travel, but you're here a lot. You come and you watch a lot of baseball. You're still a baseball fan. I've learned from Rick that former players see a different game than most of us. What do you watch specifically when you come to the ballpark? What do you focus on?
Well, I focus on the pitcher staying ahead of the hitter, throwing strikes mainly, and then I saw something last night I haven't seen in a long time. The Birmingham Ball Club was playing the Mobile Bears last night. Every player on that team had their pant legs rolled up to their knees like we used to, because I think that's a rule in the Diamondbacks organization. Which is very unusual. Of course, now they all look like they wear their pajamas to the ballpark.
Yeah, that is different. You're right. I mean, that's totally changed in the style of the game.
But I watch the pitchers to see if they stay ahead of the hitters, and the kind of a pitcher I've been wanting on my ball club, a pitcher that can hold a 1-run lead through the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Anybody can pitch when you're behind. But if you're going to hold a pitcher can hold a 1-run lead for 3 innings, last 3 innings of the ball game, That's the kind of a pitcher I want on my team.
Exactly, but now they turn them into closers. It used to be a starter when you played, but now they turn them into setup men and closers.
Even my grandson Daniel started out as a starting pitcher in college, and now he's a freshman in college. And he's a closer already.
That's right. Before it used to be, if you came out of the bullpen, you weren't good enough to be in the starting rotation, right?
If you were in the bullpen years ago when I was a player, the next stop was the minor leagues.
Right.
Or you're gone.
And back then, of course, you guys used to pitch you'd have a 9 or a 10-man staff, and you played 154 ball games. But you'd have every, Monday off, was it? Because you'd play doubleheaders on Sunday?
And holidays, yes. That's right, Rick.
Well, the Indians fail to score here in the third. Bob, always great to visit with you. Thanks so much for stopping by.
My pleasure, Matt. Good to be with you, gentlemen.
70 years ago today,
Thanks, Rick.
Bob Feller authored baseball's only opening day no-hitter.